and welcome to limit notation. So in our previous video, we discussed this exact problem, and we are now going to put it more in the language of limits. So consider the function graphed below. What does it look like the y value is approaching as x gets close to 3? So we previously saw that as x approaches 3, I'm going to use an arrow. So as x goes to 3, then it looks like y was going to 2, right? Again, we saw this, we traced along as x went in towards 3, the y value seemed to be getting to 2, no matter which direction we came from. So our limit notation, we call this, we say that this is the limit as x, or sorry, the limit of f of x as x approaches 3 is 2. This is the lengthy way of stating this. But mathematicians are extremely lazy when it comes to writing. And instead of writing the limit of f of x as x approaches 3 is 2, what we instead write is LIM, shorthand for limit. And then we put an f of x to say we are taking the limit of the function f. Down below, we put an x, an arrow, and 3 to say that x is approaching 3. And then we say that this is 2. So this is the shorthand way of saying the limit of f of x as x approaches 3 is 2. You will also see this in print instead of in cursive, and on Canvas, I unfortunately cannot enter problems in that exact format. So in Canvas, you will instead see this format. Where the x approaches 3 is more as a subscript instead of written below. Those are both appropriate. So in this one, the problem, consider the function f of x equals to x minus 4. As x gets close to 1, what does f of x get close to? We saw this in the previous page or video again. We computed just for x values getting closer and closer to 1, what happened to f of x? And we saw that as x approached 1, that f of x was going to -2. So if we put this in limit terms, then what we should say is the limit of f of x as x approaches 1 is -2. You could also just put in the actual function f of x, 2x minus 4, instead of stating f of x. In this new format we have them, this becomes the limit LIM as x approaches 1 underneath of f of x is equal to -2. Or again, as you will see in Canvas, you could also see this as the limit and then a subscript as x approaches 1 of f of x equals -2. Again, in place of f of x, we could have also just written 2x minus 4. So this is limit notation. It's just saying this part at the bottom, oops, So this part down here is what x value we are getting close to. Right? So as x gets close to 1, that's what goes down at the bottom. Then we were asked about f of x. So what does f of x, so there's our f of x, get close to? And that's our -2. So the thing at the bottom is what x is approaching. Then the thing right next to lim, the function we are working with, and then it equals whatever y value the function appears to be drawing close to. So those are, again, just the limit notation for the two examples we saw previously.